All right, kindergartners, so for today's art project, since we've been learning a little bit about the weather, we're gonna go ahead and we're going to make a sun picture. This is a little painting of a sun, maybe rising over the water. So a few things that you'll need to get started. You'll need a blank piece of paper. If you have watercolor paper, that works best, but any plain piece of white paper will do just fine. You're also going to need a pencil to do the drawing part of it, and a black color crayon will work fine. I use an oil pastel for it, but either a black crayon or an oil pastel will work best. And you'll need to get your watercolor paints. You should have gotten those back when you picked up your school supplies. If for some reason you don't have watercolors, and you can go ahead and use crayon or colored pencil, would be okay too, but watercolors are gonna work best for what we're doing. And one last thing, if you have a ruler or something that's got a straight edge on it that you can use for your lines, that works best. If you don't, that's okay. That just means your lines won't be quite as straight. It'll still look beautiful because you kindergartners do wonderful work. So we're gonna get started with the drawing part. This is what it's gonna kind of look like when we're at the end. So everybody pick up your pencil and get your paper. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw this line, this curved line that's right here. So I'm gonna take my pencil, I'm gonna put it, kind of divide the paper into 3 sections and put it, maybe start it right about here. And I'm gonna draw a curved line all the way across to the other side. All right, now that I've drawn my curved line, I'm going to draw most of a circle, and that's going to be the sun. It's not gonna look perfect because it's very difficult to draw a perfect circle, and that is okay. Just do your best to kind of draw a circle shape. Okay, so we've got our horizon line, we've got our circle shape. Now I'm gonna draw these little squiggly lines here. I'm gonna start with my pencil right where these 2 lines meet, and I'm gonna take it from here, kind of almost to the corner, and just a nice little squiggly line. And I'm gonna do the same thing over on this side. Just a nice squiggly line. All right, so next, now I've got my curved line, my circle, and my 2 squiggly lines. I'm gonna take my ruler, because I like to do that, and I'm going to go ahead and draw these lines coming out. So I like to start kind of at the top, about in the middle, and I'm going to draw, you notice I don't have it straight up and down, I've got it at an angle. So I'm gonna take my pencil here, and I'm gonna draw a line up. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. I'm gonna take my pencil, I'm gonna do a line up, okay? So that's my first sunray. I'm gonna make a little space, and then I'm gonna do another one. And I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. I'm gonna leave a little space. I'm gonna draw. And you notice that these 2 pictures aren't gonna look exactly the same, and that's okay. All right, so I've got 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna leave a little space here, and I'm gonna go ahead and draw another one. Switch that a little bit. And I'm gonna take my pencil, do one more. So I've got 1 here. Sometimes I put a little dot on them, and that helps me know where I'm gonna paint in case I forget, get lost. Okay, so let's do one on this side too. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rays. I'm gonna just do another one right here. You notice as I go down here, I changed my straight edge, my ruler, so that it goes down a little bit, and that is fine. Draw this one right here. Do one on the other side. Okay, and then I'm going to do one more, just part of one. So I'm just going to have one line going right here. So if I count the number of lines that I have, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 lines that I have on my paper. Now we're ready for the fun part. We are ready to color it in. If you need to pause the video to get caught up and get your lines drawn, that is okay. Go ahead and do that. I'll be right here when you get back. All right, so when I do my painting, I like to put a tray or something underneath of it, and that just helps me from making big messes everywhere. And then I'm gonna get my paints out, put them here, got my water as well. And I'm gonna kind of scooch this over a little bit so that you can see my paints a little bit better what I'm doing. Okay. For this painting, I normally use kind of a bigger paintbrush just because we have a lot of area that we're painting. So the first color that I'm gonna do is I'm going to use yellow. So I'm gonna get my paintbrush wet, because this is watercolors, and then I'm gonna dip it in my yellow. And I'm gonna start here at the top of my, and you know what? I'm gonna not paint yet. I skipped a little step. That happens sometimes. I forgot to go over my lines in black. So before I paint, I wanna get my black crayon or oil pastel. Sometimes teachers forget things too. And I'm going to trace over my lines in the black. And that's gonna help keep all the colors from kind of going together. So go ahead and trace over them in black. And you might wonder why we're not using a marker for this. And I'm not using a marker because we're using watercolor paints. And sometimes when you're using watercolor paints, it makes the marker, if you go over it with the marker, make kind of a mess on your paper. So that's why I use crayon or oil pastels. So I'm just tracing over my lines, just kind of real quick. And again, they don't have to be perfect. Okay, almost done. All right, that's better. Now we're ready to paint. Now I'm gonna get my paintbrush again, dip it in my water, and get my yellow paint. I'm gonna start with my yellow right up here at the top of my sunshine. And I'm not gonna go all the way down with my yellow. I might go about halfway with my yellow. And you might notice that this doesn't go all the way down with my yellow, and that's because we use a few different colors that are in with it. And if you don't have the exact shade of yellow that I have, that's okay. It will still look beautiful. All right, so I've got some yellow in there. I like to do, as much as I can, all the same color at one time. So I'm gonna do all my areas that are yellow. So I'm gonna get some more yellow, and I'm gonna do down here. And again, I'm gonna start about halfway. So I'll just start there, and I'm just gonna go yellow all the way across. Okay, so I'm gonna keep going. Yellow, yellow, yellow. that is nice and yellow. Okay, so wait, yellow here, and I have yellow here. Do you see any other yellow on the paper? Me too, so I'm gonna do some other yellow spot. So I'm gonna start with this right here, the one that's right in the middle, and I'm gonna do yellow on that. And then I'm going to skip, so I'm not going to do yellow here. I'm gonna do yellow here. What's that? Oh, we're making a pattern? You're right, we are making a pattern with our colors up here with the sunshine. So I skip, and then I've got yellow here. And I skip this one, and I've got yellow here. And I skip that one, and I put yellow here. And I'm gonna do this other side. Get some more yellow on my paintbrush. Skip here. Put some yellow here. Skip here. Put yellow here. Skip here. Put yellow here. And skip here and put yellow here. All right, so we should be good with our yellow for now. Okay, now that I am done with my yellow, I'm going to go ahead and move on to some orange. So I'm gonna have my paintbrush wet, so it's rinsed off, and I'm gonna dip it into an orange color. So I've got my brush nice and orange, and I'm going to go kind of right across the middle. With my orange. And then I'm gonna get it a little bit wet, and I'm gonna go like this. And this just kind of helps blend the colors together. So if you put a little bit of water on top of it, it makes it so it doesn't look like it just has a big stripe across it. Okay, and I'm gonna keep going with my orange. So again, I'm gonna do it right on the same parts that I have the yellow. That's where I'm gonna put my orange. I'm gonna paint all these sun rays, paint them all. If you've ever noticed when you look at the sky when the sun is coming up in the morning, it doesn't look just one color. Now it also doesn't have stripes coming off of it quite like this, but this is just a painting, so it's not, it doesn't look exactly like what it looks like. Okay, almost done with my orange. Okay, now I'm gonna take my orange down here as well. Put some orange here. And then I'm gonna get my paintbrush wet, kind of blend it a little bit. Gonna do the same with this up here. I'm gonna take my paintbrush, just kind of blend it in a little bit, just because I don't want it to look like a big stripe across. All right. Okay. Now I am done with my orange. Okay, next I'm gonna pick a reddish, a red color. So you're gonna wanna rinse off your brush and then go ahead and use red. And do red. We're gonna make the red go right up to where the orange, where it meets the orange. I'm gonna do that for all of the sun rays that we've done. So I keep putting little bit more paint on when I need to get more. And for the red, you notice I start at the edge, and that's because I want it to be darker at the edge of my paper. And keep going all the way around. If you're using crayons, you would just do the same thing as far as having the same kind of colors going through. Just a couple more to go. I can't wait to see these. Send your beautiful pictures to your kindergarten teachers. I bet they will love to see them as well. Love all the artwork that we see from you. Okay. A little bit there. All right, so now I should have my sun done. So I've got yellow, orange, and red, and then the same things down below and up on all the sun rays. But we're not quite done yet. Our picture is still missing something, some colors. So we're gonna do, this is the sun, and this would be the sun reflecting on the water when it's rising, because sometimes it might be rising over the water if you live in a different area. So I'm gonna take my paintbrush and I'm gonna rinse it off. Here we see it rising over the mountains usually, so where we live, and setting over the water. Okay, so a paintbrush, I'm just rinsing it off because I'm changing all the different colors. All right, I'm gonna get it wet again. This time I am going to start with a pink color, and I'm gonna start pink in all of these spots right here. And I'm not painting the whole thing pink, but I'll paint about half of it pink. So get some pink on my paintbrush. And like I said, I'm gonna go about halfway up on each of these rays with my pink. And if you've ever seen when the sun comes up, you know that the sky sometimes can be all sorts of beautiful colors. A lot of times when we think of our sky, we think of it as being either blue or kind of gray because it's cloudy a lot, or dark at nighttime. But when the sun is rising, and setting for that matter, the sky can be all sorts of beautiful colors. So it's fun to color it that way sometimes. All right, just a little bit more. Okay, so I've got all my things nice and pink. Now I'm going to move on to another color. I am going to get a purple color. Now I'm using a light purple. If you don't have a light purple and your purple's a little darker, that's okay. So I'm just gonna get some purple, and I'm gonna go on the same ones that I just painted and paint them some purple. And we're gonna keep painting. And remember, if you need more paint on your brush, go ahead and dip it in. Keep going. And you notice I'm painting a little bit over the pink, and that's again just to kind of blend the colors together. I like painting with watercolors because the colors all kind of bleed in together and it looks kind of cool, I think. The crayons are nice also. I don't do this one with markers because it's a little bit harder to do with markers, but if that's what you have, you certainly can do it with markers too, and I'm sure it will still look great. All right, okay, now I'm done with my purple part. What color do you think I'm gonna do next? Oh, that's right, I'm gonna do blue, and I'm gonna do this color blue. I have a lighter blue. You can use whatever color blue that you have though, and that's gonna go right here towards the end. So on the end of all this parts, and this is where we would see the sky. Use my blue. All of this. going, almost done. Go all the way around. All right. Okay. I'm all the way around with my blue color, and I have one part left, and that is the water right here. So I'm gonna get a dark blue, get it on my brush, and I'm going to paint my water dark blue. And we're not using a bunch of different colors for this, so just use one color for the blue. All the way down. Now I'm gonna do this side and blue and finish my water. Almost done. All right, kindergartners, so there's our beautiful sunrise pictures. Thank you so much for joining me with this art project. I hope you had fun. Keep on being creative. Bye.